Hello.
What is going on, guys? It's Triple G here, back with another Borderlands 3 video, and today we're going to be looking at the meta / best weapons in Borderlands 3 for each category. But only this time, what we're going to do is provide you with a DLC and a non-DLC weapon for those of you that may not have got all the content for the game yet. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise, let's get straight into this video. So let's get straight into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about is pistols, and this is the Light Show. Now, the Light Show is a DLC specific weapon from DLC 3 and from an enemy called Lacerdact. Now, what makes this pistol so strong is the fact that it has multiple projectiles that you can actually make more accurate using certain characters' abilities, meaning that it becomes an absolute powerhouse on certain characters. Somebody in particular that works it well is Zane, but all characters can use this gun absolutely brilliantly. It is super strong. It does use more ammo than most. However, you can see here that you do more than make up for that, for the fact that you can hit enemies with multiple projectiles. You can clear ads with this weapon. You can clear bosses with this weapon. It is truly insane. As for our non-DLC option when it comes to pistols, I'm going to tell you to select the Hellshock. The Hellshock is a non-DLC weapon, and as you can see here, it will pack a serious punch. Now, we're only on shock here, but as you can see, it's cutting through what is a true takedown. Next up on the list, we're going to go into SMGs. Now, SMGs, there is one SMG that sits above all the rest, and that is the Plasma Core. Now, the Plasma Core is obtainable from Arms Race, and what makes it so brilliant is that you have a pulsing fire rate, which enables you to save a bit of ammo, and it packs a huge amount of damage into each pellet. So as you can see, when you fire it, it does this bursting movement. Now, I prefer to have it on radiation, and then what you can do is just absolutely clear enemies. There are barely any enemies, including some of these bosses on the takedown, that can stand up to a few bursts. This is a Kraken here, that was 2 or 3 bursts, and away it goes. So it really does pack a huge punch. As for non-DLC SMG, I'm going to recommend the Terminal Crit. Now, I would have recommended the DNA instead of the Crit, but the Crit was recently buffed, and it is easier to obtain than the DNA. The DNA requiring you to be on Mayhem 6. So the Terminal Crit you can get from Moxes by just spamming money into the tip jar, and then your weapon will be delivered to you via the mail system. And now the Crit is pretty powerful. It works really well. The only thing to be wary of is that it can slip out of your hand on the reload. So just beware of that. That is its special ability, but it does come with some lifesteal, making it a really strong option for you. Onto shotguns then, and there is just one option here for DLC and non-DLC, and that is the Hellwalker. Now, of course, the Face Puncher is a very strong shotgun technically, but that deals melee damage. So rather than everybody just saying, well, you've used the Face Puncher and it is not actually a shotgun, we're going to select the Hellwalker here. Really strong option. Does a ton of damage, looks like one of the most badass weapons in the game, has a smoking barrel on the front of it. What more do you want? And it absolutely packs a punch. Now, this one I have here isn't actually anointed correctly for Zane, but as you can see, you're going to be able to do much of the content without any problem at all. This is Athena's, but it wouldn't really matter where you were, because the damage the gun can do on its own is really strong. And you can just, like, because it reloads so fast as well, you can effectively be always firing, and with it being a Jacobs, it will ricochet to other enemies as well. Really good shotgun, and one that you can get both if you have the DLCs or if you don't. So the next category we're going to go into is snipers. Now, snipers is a really interesting one. There are plenty of decent snipers in the game. However, I've picked 2 that I think that stand out for certain reasons. The first reason is the complex route. Anybody that's watched any videos over the last few days has seen the complex route do absolutely crazy things when it comes to damage, in terms of trillions of damage that we've seen from some other creators as well. So you can get this from DLC 3. It is a super powerful sniper rifle when you pair it with some artifacts that buff the splash damage radius and the sniper damage itself. So as you can see, it does like a little effect that will go around enemies, and it works really well. This works exceptionally well with Erasure on Zane, and is really powerful. As for a non-DLC sniper, I'm actually going to recommend the Monocle. Now, there aren't a lot of non-DLC snipers to choose one, to caveat through that. However, the Monocle actually does a bonus 500% damage when aiming down sights, and if you pair it with a 300/90 weapon, you can actually do a ton of damage with it. Now, as we can see here, as long as you actually can land your shots, you will absolutely destroy enemies with it. Now, this will drop off if you're trying to do a Guardian takedown, or you can do it with a Malawan takedown as well, but it will drop off if you're trying to do some of the top tier content. However, if you're just after a non-DLC sniper, or you just want to have a muck around, the Monocle makes light work of everything. If you can hit those crits with the 300/90, you hit those crits, that was an 11 million actual crit just from the Monocle. So it works really well. And with Zane as well, you can use some Mantis Cannon to give yourself some more commitment, and then land some shots. So it works really well. And as you can see, when you do land those shots, it becomes really potent. Onto assault rifles then, and there is only ever going to be one winner in this category, and that is the Monarch. The Monarch can be obtained from Kilovolt, which many people know now, which is makes it a non-DLC weapon, but it is also the most powerful assault rifle in the game, meaning that we have no difference between DLC and non-DLC. Now, what makes the Monarch so powerful is that it has a actual bipod, meaning that you can deploy it, giving it extra damage and increasing the amount of projectiles it fires, meaning that you can put out an astronomical amount of damage out really quickly. Now, this works really well with most characters. However, it stands out when you are playing as Zane. Now, Zane with his commitment stacks at the moment means that he can buff the damage that the Monarch does to absolutely insane levels. As you can see at the bottom, we only have a few stacks at the moment, but we are absolutely just walking through enemies like they're not even there. The tougher the enemies are with this particular build, the more damage you actually do. So the Monarch is super strong. It doesn't matter what bars that we come across, whether they're armor bars or whether they're whatever, like we will just literally just walk through enemies really casually. And if you want to move faster, you just deploy your bipod, and away you go. So the final category on our list is rocket launchers. In this category, we are only going to have one option, which is viable for DLC and non-DLC. That is the Plaguebearer. The Plaguebearer is the strongest rocket launcher in the game. Overall, the Backburner does have some really good performances when doing bossing, but the Plaguebearer can just get most of the jobs done very efficiently. Now, the Plaguebearer's really good ability is the fact that it can fire a single projectile, and then it will fire multiple projectiles that split off from that single projectile, meaning that it will do tons and tons of damage. And these auto projectiles actually track to enemies as well. So when you have a group of enemies, what you can do is just kind of fire above their head and watch as they all just get disintegrated. Now, just be wary that you will eventually run out of ammo if you're not on a character like Mose, but other than that, it is just have fun with this weapon. It is an incredibly strong rocket launcher, and if you actually are fighting like a boss, just aim it straight at that boss and you will be absolutely fine. So there you have it, guys, a little bit of a different video for you, splitting the DLC and non-DLC options for those of you that haven't got all the content. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise I'll catch you on the flip.